Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Beef Up Front podcast here on Pick Swap Media. Exciting episode today, our last preseason episode. We finally made it to NFL game week, wrapping up my preseason divisional series previews today with my MVP award winner, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, all that good stuff, as well as my entire playoff bracket predictions, going through those. So if you haven't already, make sure go back, check out all those divisional previews. Did all 8 divisions, broke them down. Each team got their own probably 6 or 7 minute breakdown. So make sure to go check that out before the games start up this week, so you can kind of keep tabs on my predictions and my thoughts for the season. And then today I have the playoff bracket based off of all the predictions I did with the seeding, and then what their playoff matchups looked like, and who's winning the wild card rounds, the divisional rounds, the conference title game, and then the eventual Super Bowl champion. So we're going to get into all that today. Really excited to be here, though, today. Really fired up. Finally, NFL game week. Can't wait for Thursday night to get Bills Rams on that TV. So without further ado, we'll start it off with my award winners we're going to go with first. And so we'll start at the top with the MVP. My guy, Justin Herbert, is my prediction there. Quarterback for the Chargers. I think he has a very good chance to lead the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Has an elite offensive line in front of him. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, a sleeper guy like this year in Gerald Everett. Got a really nice running back in Austin Eckler. Just a complete offense. I think he comes out this year and proves that he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And no better way to do that than I have them earning the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. Have them having a really strong season. That would be on the back of Justin Herbert. So look for him. He's my MVP prediction. Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, receiver for the Vikings. Cooper Kupp, I believe, won this award last year after his historic season. This is typically like the non-quarterback award, I guess you could say. MVP, 9 times out of 10 is going to a quarterback unless there was some insane season by a different position player. But the Offensive Player of the Year is kind of regarded for, unless the quarterback has like a record-setting year, it's going to be like a running back or a receiver most likely. I think Justin Jefferson, year 3, steps up. He proves that he's now the guy, the premier receiver in the NFL, and he wins that award. Working with Kirk Cousins and new head coach Kevin O'Connell, I think they're going to have a pass-first attack this year, and he's really going to benefit from that. Over 100 catches, 1,800 yards, 15 to 18 touchdowns, somewhere in that range is going to be his numbers. I think that's good enough to put him as the Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Nick Bosa of the 49ers, the defensive end. I believe his over-under on FanDuel for sacks is 11.5. That's one that I'm smashing. I think he's going to be around 20 sacks this year, have one of the better pass rushing seasons that we've seen in recent memory, even of all time. I wouldn't be surprised to see him flirt with that sack record that TJ Watt got last year. So I really like Nick Bosa this year. I think he comes into his own, and he proves that he's the best defensive end in football. He's right up there in that category for pass rushers with TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. I think Bosa really anoints himself this year, and he earns himself a massive payday after the season. So he's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think this one and the Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's all about your opportunity. We're not going to see much rookie quarterbacks, I think, this year. We might see Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis at some point in the season, but I don't think enough to earn this Offensive Rookie of the Year award. So I think a guy who's going to step in, play a lot from day one, and he's going to reap the benefits from being on a pretty bad team who's going to throw the ball a lot. That's Drake London of the Falcons, a receiver. He's my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder is going to be throwing him the ball. That's obviously not ideal, but they're going to be trailing a ton. He's the unquestioned number 1 receiver in that offense. They have Kyle Pitts, who's going to take some snaps away, but with Calvin Ridley out for the whole year with suspension and Drake London be like the number 1 pick for them this past year, I believe at number 8 overall, they're going to emphasize getting him the football each and every week, and I think he's just going to have a lot of opportunities that some of these other guys aren't. So he's my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Then we go to Defensive Rookie of the Year, another one where it's all about opportunity. I'm going with Devin Lloyd of the Jaguars. He was like plus 1,200, I think. So if you have some faith in me and you want to put that one in, that would be a nice little payday at the end of the season. I just think from day one, he's going to be that starting middle linebacker on this Jaguars team. He's going to go over 100 tackles, I think, if he plays all 17 games. And I just think he's in position for a huge rookie season just based off of opportunity alone. I love his sideline to sideline speed. I think he's going to be a tackle machine in the NFL. If he can throw in a couple interceptions or a couple sacks here and there as well, that's just only going to help his case. I just think he kind of anoints himself as one of the better linebackers in the NFL during his rookie season, and that would lead to a nice defensive rookie of the year award, in my opinion. We're gonna go coach of the year now. I have Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Vikings, getting that. I have the Vikings. If you didn't listen to the NFC North pod, I have them going 12-5. That's good enough to earn the number 2 overall seed in the NFC. I think if he does that, that is head coach of the year worthy. He's got a really talented team who I think they've kind of just struggled and were in that Mike Zimmer phase these past few years where it was kind of just like that era was just winding down. It looked like everyone wanted like a new fresh start there. I think they get that with O'Connell. I think he comes in, has a really nice offense working with Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Irv Smith Jr., another tight end I like. Uh, I just think he's gonna light up the league this year with points, and the Vikings are gonna have a really nice season, and that's gonna lead him to being my coach of the year. So just to run through those awards again real quick: MVP Justin Herbert, Offensive Player of the Year Justin Jefferson, Defensive Player of the Year Nick Bosa, Offensive Rookie of the Year Drake London, Defensive Rookie of the Year Devin Lloyd, and then Coach of the Year Kevin O'Connell. Now we will get into my playoff predictions, the whole bracket. Like I said, if you haven't listened to the division previews, please go check those out. Did all the AFC teams, all the NFC teams, and now we get to the playoffs with the seeding. So we're going to start in the AFC in the wild card round, then we'll go to NFC wild card, and then we will go, division, conference championship, Super Bowl. First matchup in the AFC wild card is the number 4 Ravens taking down the number 5 seed Chiefs. I think the Ravens, Lamar Jackson wants to get that payday. He's going to have some playoff success. I think this is the year that they have a good chance to get over the hump and make a nice run in the playoffs. Take down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the wild card round. That would be his earliest exit in his young NFL career in the playoffs. But I'm going to take the Ravens at home over the Chiefs. Second matchup, I'm going to go the number 6 seed Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Indianapolis and taking down the number 3 seeded Colts. And if that happens, I think Frank Reich gets fired. Has too talented of a team, and I feel like he's had a pretty long leash, I guess you could say, of kind of disappointing with how talented his roster is. So Matt Ryan, if the Colts get that home game and Matt Ryan finds a way to lose that one, we could see another new starting quarterback in Indianapolis next year. So I think the Raiders are going to be a really exciting team this year, and I think Derek Carr has a good chance to contend with Herbert for that MVP award because I think they're going to throw the ball around the yard a ton, get it to their playmakers, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams now on the team. I really like the Raiders this year, and I like them to go on the road and win a playoff game. Next, we have the number 2 seeded Bills knocking off the number 7 seeded Broncos. I think it's going to be a 2-horse race in the AFC this year for that Super Bowl spot between the Chargers and the Bills. I don't think the Bills are going to lose a home playoff game to a Broncos team that isn't as talented as them, I think, and the quarterback isn't as good. Just home games in Buffalo at any point in the season, but especially the playoffs in that weather is really tough to overcome. I like the Bills in that one. NFC wild card now. We'll start it off with the 4-seeded Eagles taking down the 5-seeded wild card Packers. I have the Packers actually going to Lincoln Financial Field in the regular season and winning. I don't think the Eagles will let that happen twice in one year. I think the defensive line is going to be one of the better groups in football, a really improved defense. Jalen Hurts gets that, I guess you could say, monkey off his back and kind of with this game, taking down Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I think that would be enough. As long as he is not carried by the defense and the supporting cast, and he's more than a game manager, I think winning this home playoff game over Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers would be the way to go out with a pretty nice bang for his second season as a full-time starter and earn him an eventual big-time contract. Next, we have number 3 seed 49ers. I have them taking down their divisional rival and the reigning Super Bowl champion, the number 6 seed Rams. As you know from my episodes and my fantasy talk as well, I'm all in on Trey Lance. I think he's going to have a really big year and take this 49ers team to the next level. It's really hard to repeat, even just going back to the conference championship game or the Super Bowl. I don't think the Rams are going to do that this year. It's just too tough in the NFL to have that sustained playoff success. So we're going to have the 49ers take down the Rams. And then the last matchup in the wild card round got the number 2 seeded Vikings taking down the number 7 seeded Cowboys. The Cowboys have had some bad injuries since I made all my predictions. So this is a team that I wouldn't be surprised to see even not make the playoffs. I have them finishing 9-8, getting that 7 seed. And like I was talking about with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, I both have them winning awards. I think that offense is going to be super exciting and a really tough group to defend, and that's going to lead to a playoff win here in O'Connell's first year as head coach. Now we go to the divisional round. We're going to have the number 2 seeded Bills taking on the 4 seeded Ravens, and I'm going to have the Bills winning that one. I think that'll be a really good matchup, a really fun game to watch between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. But I think Josh Allen's going to be on a mission this year, and he's going to take the Bills back to the conference championship game. And then we have a divisional matchup for the other division, the other AFC divisional game, and that's number 1 seeded Chargers over the number 6 seeded Raiders. I had these two teams split in the regular season. I think this game could be like a 45-42 game, something that we're not used to seeing in the playoffs, out in the warm weather or in the indoor environment. So you're not going to be affected like that, like you might be in Buffalo for that Bills-Ravens game that I'm predicting. But I'm going to take the Chargers to go to the AFC title game to match up against the Bills. We go over to the NFC now. I have the number 3 seeded 49ers traveling to Minnesota and being the number 2 seeded Vikings, putting a lot of stock in the Vikings and the 49ers this year. Not a bold take, I think you could say, but a little bit out of the box compared to some other teams. But you look at the 49ers, they're really deep and they have a lot of top end talent as well. Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Trent Williams. They have a lot of blue chip guys on that team. And then you throw in the young rookie, or I guess second year quarterback now, but first year starting in Trey Lance. I think he takes that offense over the top, and he's the major difference for this team going forward. And we're going to be looking at the 49ers like this team is going to be legit and is going to be around for a while with this young quarterback at the helm. So give me the 49ers over the Vikings. And then I switched this up. I originally had the Bucks as the 1 seed beating the 4 seed Eagles. I'm actually going to flip-flop that. We know I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Got it right behind me over there. Over that way. But I think that this team is grown on me. It could be just being a Philly guy and reading a little bit too much information and listening to stuff a little bit too much every day. But I'm really high on this team. And if they're able to go to the conference championship, that's a huge success. Just continue to build up this roster with this young quarterback. The Bucks, they're a little bit disheveled. If I was going back and redoing some of these predictions, I would still have them winning the division. But I had them going 13-4. I think they're going to be more in that 11-6 to 10-7 range. They've had a lot of key injuries up front on the offensive line. The whole Tom Brady situation is a little weird. I'm not saying I'm doubting him in the Bucks, but I think the Eagles have a really good chance to make some noise this year and advance to the conference championship game by taking down the Bucks. Now we go to the AFC championship game. I'm having my guy Justin Herbert and the Chargers taking down the Buffalo Bills. That would be a really disappointing season for the Bills not to get to the Super Bowl again when they're viewed as the favorite coming into the year and the best roster in the NFL with arguably the best quarterback as well. I think Herbert is the best quarterback in the NFL. I think he's going to go out there and prove that this year. And if this Chargers team is able to stay healthy and Brandon Staley doesn't screw it up for them, they have, in my opinion, the best overall team and the most like high level guys in the NFL. And you throw in the best quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL as well. It's going to be hard to mess that up unless there's some major injuries. So give me the Los Angeles Chargers advancing to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to have them playing another California team, the 49ers. I have the 49ers beating Philadelphia. The 49ers, the 3 seed, Eagles, the 4 seed. So 49ers have that home NFC title game. I have them and Trey Lance taking down the Philadelphia Eagles to go back to the Super Bowl for the first time since that 2019 season. So we have a California matchup in the Super Bowl. We have the 1 seed from the AFC with the Chargers and the 3 seed from the NFC with the 49ers. All offseason, I've been saying how high I am on Trey Lance, how high I am on this 49ers team. I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. That's what my take's been all offseason. But when I woke up this morning to record, I had a change of heart. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me. But I'm rolling with the Los Angeles Chargers as the 2022-2023 Super Bowl champions. Justin Herbert caps off his historic season that I think he's going to have this year with an MVP and a Super Bowl championship victory. Wins the Super Bowl MVP as well. And the Chargers, bad luck and bad breaks, I think, from over the past decade, where they've been one of the more talented teams pretty consistently. They kind of catch their break and get over that top. So I have Chargers over 49ers in the Super Bowl. That's the official Beef Upfront prediction for this year. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said throughout the show, if you haven't already, please go back and check out those episodes for the divisional previews. AFC East, North, South, West. We have NFC East, North, South, West, and then this entire episode where I broke down the playoffs. I gave really deep dives on each of those teams. So if you're looking to consume some more content before we kick off Thursday or even before Sunday comes around, and just get a better understanding and feeling on some of these teams and my thoughts on them going forward, make sure to go check those out. Like always, please like, subscribe, follow the social media pages as well. We will have a bunch of episodes coming out this week. We have a fantasy football start-sit episode coming out, our first of the season for that. We'll have NFL Big Five Games of the Week back. We got college football show. We have a lot of stuff cooking up here at Beef Up Front and Pick Swap Media. So make sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and we will talk soon.